Safety is an integral part of our culture here at Malakoff. We feel that a strong safety program is a major factor in our success, and it contributes to our competitive edge by reducing our cost of doing business. Valuing safety is not only the responsibility of the employer. Your own well-being is something you owe to yourself and your family. Your safety on this side is our #1 priority. So we ask a few minutes of your time to familiarize yourself with the plant safety procedure. Thank you.
A safe and secure workplace is important for you and to anyone associated to Malakoff Corporation Bhd. This safety induction video will introduce you to the fundamental rules on personal safety, Malakoff Power emergency response procedures, and essential information you will need to contribute to a workplace that is always safe for you and your colleagues. If you are a permanent Malakoff Power Plant staff, please ensure you show and lead a good example in managing safety, security, health and environment at the workplace. And if you are a contractor, you must have your safety induction passport with you all the time. Malakoff Corporation follows and will comply to the legal requirements set by the Malaysian government. Malakoff Corporation requires the active commitment and accountability to the health, safety and environment policy from all visitors, employees and contractors. Here at Malakoff, the health, safety and environment management model is designed in achieving operating excellence through operational discipline by constantly working in a safe manner, improving technology, and ensuring our personnel are always in line with new policies and rules. Upon arrival to the Malakoff Power Plant, you will be required to register and follow instructions set by the Malakoff Power Plant security personnel. Ensure that your vehicle is parked in the designated parking area and that the engine is turned off. When you register, please state the nature of your business and declare to the security personnel of any tool, electrical and mechanical equipment that you will be bringing into the power plant. The security personnel will advise you on the next course of action. Once you have completed the registration, you will be handed a pass that you must wear throughout your visit to the power plant. Each pass design varies depending on the purpose of the visit. These are some of the passes used at the power plant. When you drive through the security gate, you will be stopped and your vehicle will be inspected. This procedure will be repeated upon signed out and when you exit the power plant. Now that you are driving in the Malakoff Power Plant, please adhere to the signages and speed limits set. It is compulsory for visitors, employees and contractors to wear personal protective equipment which meets the minimum power plant standards. Please check with the relevant safety officer or the officer in charge on the assigned personal protective equipment that you will be supplied with before proceeding to the locations around the power plant. For contractors, it is your company's responsibility to supply you with personal protective equipment. Personal protective equipment and clothing must always be maintained in good condition. At the Malakoff Power Plant, as a contractor, you will be required to wear safety boots, working jacket, safety glasses, gloves, harness when working at heights, respirator for working in areas that you may be exposed to coal dust or chemicals, hearing protection and a hard hat. As a visitor, you will be provided and required to wear safety boots, safety vest and a hard hat. If the nature of your work requires additional personal protective equipment, please inform the safety officer. Please note that you will not be allowed to wear shorts, sleeveless shirts and slippers to conduct your work or visit to the Malakoff Power Plant premises. Throughout the Malakoff Power Plant, you will be exposed to a number of areas that will be of safety concern. Hence, you must adhere to all safety warning signages displayed. These are some of the main safety signages and that you will see around the power plant. Nitrogen station, wastewater treatment plant, steam turbine area, cooling water intake area. When you are at Malakoff Power Plant, you will have to adhere to the rules and regulations set to ensure your safety and the safety of others. Here are some of the basic rules. Follow the speed limits when driving in the Malakoff Power Plant premise. Usage of mobile phones are prohibited while driving on site. Ensure that you are wearing your personal protective equipment at all times. Horseplay on the job can be dangerous for you and your colleague. Ensure that you are always focused on the task given to you. When working at heights, the usage of a body harness is compulsory. Railings are required at permanent elevated locations at 2 meters or above. Please be sure that you adhere to all safety compliances prior to commencing work, as falls are the #1 cause of fatalities in the industry, accounting for 56% of fatalities. Smoking is only allowed at designated areas. All tools have to be checked and used for its designated purposes. The person supervising works must brief everyone on the proper hazards. This will be done during a toolbox talk. You must attend toolbox talk meetings prior to commencing work at this power plant. The use, sale, transfer or possession of drugs, controlled substances and alcohol at Malakoff Power Plant premises is strictly forbidden. For more information on rules and regulations at Malakoff Power Plant, please refer to your safety passport and the safety officer on duty. Any persons found to be in breach of these rules may face disciplinary action, which could result in the termination of employment or your contract. When people need to interact directly with a machine or equipment and there is a risk it will start or move, an isolation may be required. Isolate the equipment according to electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic, steam. Apply the isolation tag to the isolation point and comply with lockout-tagout procedure or LOTO. Check all the isolated equipment through the isolation list before starting work. When the work is completed, all related people are to sign off on the permit to work, take out the isolation tag and comply to LOTO and permit to work procedures. Persons in charge of work must inform the safety controller about the completion of the work. The safety controller on duty is the only personnel authorized to de-isolate any isolation. When any work is undertaken on site, workers are exposed to hazards. To control these hazards, for routine work, there will be a written SOP and work instruction. For non-routine work, a task-based risk assessment must be done. All work on the plant will require a permit to work, including working in heights, confined spaces, transformer area access, excavation, civil work, hot work, electrical work, and plant isolations. All permits to work, PTW, can only be issued by the safety controller, who is the shift charge engineer or shift manager, who has been trained and registered as the PTW competent person. All those working under the permits must sign off when their work is completed. Good housekeeping is encouraged in any work area. If an emergency arises, Malakoff's policy is safety first. There will be a series of mechanisms that will be initiated for you to follow. We will now show you the Malakoff Power Emergency Response Procedures. If you are the first to be aware of a fire or an emergency, please notify the person in charge of work, the safety of security personnel, and the plant control room. Proceed to activate the alarm. In an emergency, you will hear a series of sirens. These siren sounds differ from various Malakoff power plants. In the event an evacuation is necessary, you will be directed by the floor warden to evacuate. Always familiarize yourself with your building. Know the locations of all the emergency exits. Remain calm and try to keep others around you calm. Exit the building using stairwells. Never use the elevators. Close and secure all doors behind you. Proceed to the designated emergency assembly points. Remain silent and listen for directions from the Health, Safety, Security and Environment Officer or the HSSE officer. Your presence at the assembly point will be checked by the personnel in charge. Never re-enter the building unless the all clear is given. Malakoff Tanjung Bin Power Plant. Sound 1. This sound indicates that there is an emergency in the power plant and all personnel have to be on alert. Sound 2. This sound indicates an emergency has occurred and you will have to evacuate to the nearest assembly point. Sound 3. This sound indicates that everything is under control and you may return to work. These assembly points differ from each power plant. Notices of assembly locations are posted around the power plant. Ensure that you are aware of these locations before entering the location. Tanjung bin layout plan with assembly points and evacuation areas. This brings us to the end of the Malakoff safety induction video. For contractors, this safety induction covers your validity to enter and work in the plant for 6 months from this date. For Malakoff Corporation staff, it covers your validity for 2 years. For visitors, it is only valid for the duration of your visit. You will be notified when you are due for your next induction. Thank you.